Well, it's April 9th, a nice warm sunny day, so it's time to put up the bat houses. So I just went back into the woods with the ATV here to get a pole for the bat houses. This one's about 20 feet long, so they recommend having them at least 12 to 15 feet high. It was a bit of a battle getting it out of there. It was a dead tree, recently dead, because it seems like it's still fairly solid. There were quite a few dead ones that were punky, and I didn't want to cut a live one down, so hopefully this will work. I've used this method before where I cut standing dead trees down as long as they're in good shape, and they seem to last quite a while. Okay, so this is the log I brought out of the woods this morning. I'm just taking the bark off it now using a spoke shave, or a draw knife as it's also called. And I believe it's good to take the bark off because otherwise bugs get under the bark and start chewing away on the inner tree itself. So I'm hoping by taking the bark off, it'll keep bugs out of it for as long as possible. Also, it'll help keep the tree from retaining a lot of moisture when it rains for extended periods of time. It'll dry out faster with just the bark removed. Okay, so the thing with the draw knife is just to try and get a smooth draw of the knife toward you. Obviously with all these knots it's hard, but the key is just to take the majority of the bark off. I'm not worried about every scrap, but just to get the main thickness of the bark off to prevent bugs from getting in there and chewing away on the wood. So in order to get the sides of the post flat so it can accept the boards I'm going to put on that will support the bat houses, I got to take off these branch knobs here because they create a bumpy effect on them. So I'll just use this Sawzall to do that. So what I'm doing now is just applying a slab of 2x8 to each side of the pole. Not quite at the top of the pole because I'm not sure I can get up that high on the ladder. So the base of this slab should be at about 13 feet height when you take away the 4 feet or so that'll go into the ground. And I've just fastened it with three 3-inch lag bolts. Now I'm going to put the other side on, and then I'll screw the bat houses to these flat pieces of wood, which will be easier than trying to screw them onto a round post. So there's both sides now attached. So the house will go on each side. Now I just have to drag the pole over to where I'm going to put it up, dig a hole, put the post in, and then hopefully I can take the houses up this high on the ladder to attach them. So here's the post in the hole. We had to take a couple feet off the bottom because we couldn't reach it even in the trailer here. So hopefully this will work. We'll be at about 11 feet height, I think, for the bottom of the box. So we got the bat houses finally up on the pole, even though it's not extremely high. It's very difficult to reach the top of the bat houses. I should have developed a new method to do this. We actually ended up using the bucket of the tractor to take a couple people up and help position the house while someone else nailed it or screwed it on. Quite a rigmarole, as you can see all the stuff we got here. Ideally, the houses would have been put on the pole first, and then you put the pole in between two other poles on the ground and just swing it up. But we didn't get into it that much. This is a first attempt at bat houses here, really, so we'll see if they use them, and if they use them, then we might develop something more elaborate. So when you're looking for a location for the bat house, you should keep it about 30 feet away from major trees. So I've done that here. You want it fairly open, near water. Our pond is just over here, and we've seen them flying around here quite a bit in the years with along the driveway and stuff. So hoping that is going to be good. We've also got one of the boxes at least face south. The other one's actually north, but when you're putting two on a pole like that, it's hard to have it any other way. So this box in particular will get really warm in the summer sun coming south. The other one will be cooler, so if they would prefer to go in the cooler one, that's an option for them too. But we'll see. We may not even get any bats, but we'll give it a shot.